Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Z, the Director of Youth Outreach and producer with the Future Perfect Project. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. I'm fixing my hair because I'm excited for our... Oh, here we go. There we go. Much better. I'm so excited to have you all join us tonight, the Future Perfect Project. Our amazing guest, Joe Serafini, is joining us. I'll tell them a little bit more about us and FPP once I have them join our live. Where are you, Joe? There you are. Here we go. We did it.
Hello.
Oh my God, we did it. We finally did it. The two of us are together.
I know, after all this back and forth.
And we're making magic live on Instagram.
Yes, hello.
It is so nice to meet your face. I'm so glad to be with you tonight. So I'm going to give you a little information about the Future Perfect Project, and then we're going to get a little bit into about you, and then we'll get into some questions about your career, about your experience as an artist, about queerness, and about how you integrate the two.
Amazing.
So my name is Z Infante. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm the Director of Youth Outreach for the Future Perfect Project and a producer as well with the organization. We believe at the Future Perfect Project that the self-expression of LGBTQ plus youth and allies is a declaration of a better future for us all. Yes, I have that off book, and it's true to our heart and soul. And I'm so grateful that you were willing to join us today for our FPP Live series, where we interview queer icons such as yourself about their life and experience in the arts. So we have a little way of starting where we talk a little bit about the programs that we do. We're offering new programs, an FPP freestyle, which will be open hang time for participants who sign up through our link. And you can sign up for all of our programs by logging on to our Instagram, following us on Instagram, all the above. And you can get more information about awesome events like this with Joe. And so our introductions are very signature with the Future Perfect Project. So you're going to join us in that. Someone said, I heart Joe as well. And we're so excited for season 3. So am I. So our introductions, very signature to the Future Perfect Project. We say our name, our pronouns in a sentence to describe how we're feeling and where we are. So I'll go first so that you have an example. I could see you thinking hard. Don't worry. You're going to, no matter what comes out, it's going to be beautiful.
Okay, great.
So my name is Z. They are feeling real in Roselle Park, New Jersey. Popcorn to Joe.
Oh, hi, my name is Joe. He is feeling excited about chatting with Z.
And where are you?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles. Wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you again, Joe. Your time means so much to us. Your experience is unlike anyone else's in the world because you are you. And that's what made me so excited to be able to have a conversation with you because you do so much for queer people. You've done so much in terms of representation. And you're just an awesome light in the world. And I'm so glad that we get to have a conversation about that light and how others can find it within themselves through these kinds of conversations. So where do you identify on the queer spectrum?
Well, I actually identify as bisexual. And it's been a journey to that point, I will say. I feel like, I don't know if I need to elaborate on this, but like, I don't know. I feel like growing up when I would say that and I was like kind of still figuring it out, that was something that people kind of tried to say, oh, that's just a stepping stone on the way to being gay, or, kind of tried to like deny that existence. And I still very much feel it for myself. So I just want to be here for those bicons and say that you're real and your feelings are valid.
Yes, validation always. It's so funny you say that. I was in 8th grade when I came out as bi, and someone was like, "You're just gonna be gay one day," and so I was like, "All right, I'm gay now." And then I came out as non-binary, and I was like, "Wait, I'm actually pansexual." And I was like, "Oh my god, this all makes sense. I was always attracted to everyone." um, so cool, so great to hear, and so important for people to be validated in that way, because I feel like erasure is so common in our culture,
Mhm.
and unfortunately in queer culture. So I'm excited to see more of that kind of honesty in the world. Um, and on
Yeah.
that, I'm wondering, like, what to you is your most genuine self, your most honest way of representing yourself? That can be as a person in your day to day or artistically, whatever reaches you.
Yeah. I don't really know. I guess it's just like waking up and deciding to not really apologize and like kind of just live the most authentic way I can, and be my most authentic self at all times, which, isn't always easy. But yeah, I think just like feeling free to express myself in however way I choose um, is the way I try to show up in the world. I don't know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Authenticity
Yeah.
is essential. And I'm like, if you had to define it for yourself, like what would authenticity be to you in terms of? I know you're saying like waking up and being yourself, but like, what's the authentic expression of Joe in the world?
I will say like sometimes like the way I speak, like I'll like watch back or listen back on interviews or something, and I'll think like, oh my gosh, I sound so like blah blah blah. But I think that's so me, and like why would I not, celebrate who I am, and like that is who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like try to embrace that, the way I speak, the way I talk, and the way I express. And then also like even just the way I dress, or like deciding to like paint my nails, or yeah, exactly. See, look at that. So yeah, just all the different ways that we can express ourselves, and I don't know, just like things that make us happy and bring us joy, like it will bring joy to others. And I think that's how I try to be authentic.
Yeah. So you said self-expression, which I think is such a beautiful thing to recognize, because we all do it in so many different ways. Um, and you do so beautifully as an artist and in the work that you do. And I'm curious on the other side of like, what does like when you wake up and you're like looking at your closet, like or you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm gonna present, I'm gonna, we're all born naked as and the rest is drag. Like,
Right.
what does that self-expression feel like to you, on authentic self-expression?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess what do you mean? Like
I
and
mean, like, so for instance, when I look at my closet, some days I'm like, oh, I'm dressing more math, or I'm dressing more femme. I'm wondering if there's like a line for you of expression, because you are like, from my experience with your work and your presentation in the world, you are loud.
am I?
Yes, it's so beautiful. You let yourself be seen. It's such a wonderful thing.
Hmm.
Um, but that's all beyond. That's beyond. I'll move right along. So I'm wondering, you know, when you were in high school, what was something that you looked at in the world and you thought, oh my God, this is so crazy. It's got to go. And what did you do? What did you bump up against as a young person?
Ooh, I would say it was that whole thing that I kind of touched upon earlier about kind of people denying how I felt and saying like, "Oh, well, you'll figure it out." I'm like, "No, actually like well, first of all, it's a journey. So like we all can like figure it out as we go and take our time, and if it does change as it did for you, like it can. Like we are all on our own journey, and we all have to take our own time figuring out how we identify and who we are, and who we want to be in this world. Um, and I think, yeah, that was something that I definitely, like, I feel like people tried to really say, like, oh, you're not, you know, that's not really who you are, or like, you'll figure it out. And I'm like, well, actually, like, I think I have a pretty strong sense of myself. And I think it's okay to, you know, question things and, like I said, figure it out as you go. And I think we need to stop trying to tell other people what we think they are. Because how could you ever know unless you are in that body as that person, you know?
It's so true to what we do at the Future Perfect Project in terms of, you know, having people express themselves through their art, through their work, through their storytelling, whatever form that may come in. And we do that in our workshops, essentially, and what we call an FPOW, which is a Future Perfect online writing workshop, online
Oh my,
workshop. Yes, yes. You'll have to join us one day. And, you know, you can find out more if you're watching. You can find out more in the information in our bio, and sign up for all of our programs. But it's so important to find a space, right? To find a space where you feel safe to be yourself. And I'm wondering, when you were in high school, what was that first experience where you're like, this is my community, these are my people? And where was that?
I would definitely say in doing theater with my friends at after school program. It was the Pittsburgh CLO Academy of Musical Theater. And I would go there and take dance and acting and, you know, singing, and we'd put on productions. And I would say, I always said, actually, that I was like, I feel most myself with this group of friends. And I think it kind of offended my school friends at some time. Um, but the truth is, it was just a different environment. It was just very much more open, and I feel like we all could just be silly and as loud and as expressive and ridiculous as we wanted to, and no one was gonna like judge or make you feel like it was going against the way everyone else was being, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, very much so. I can relate. I can relate. I found my people. I wasn't even out until later in life, like end of high school, early college, which for me was later in life. When I think about, like, I've got cousins who came out when they were like 11.
Oh yeah, no, I was later too.
Okay, because I'm like, oh my, wow, all right. Yes, you better know, represent. And because like I knew when I was 7 that I was different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have words for it, language for it. Just like defining myself as pan, or you defining yourself as bi. It's like language that comes into our experience, that we're just able to articulate what our experience is.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I'm wondering, when was the first time in your life where you felt like you were able to exercise your agency as a queer person? No, I'm not talking about your representation.
Oh my gosh, no.
Your agency as a person.
Well, really quickly, I do want to just say about my school friends, like, there were school friends that I did feel comfortable with. I don't want to like totally deny that they were there for me and like didn't. It's not that it was only my CLO friends. I just want to say that. But my first time I felt agency, I guess, I mean, honestly, I'm the youngest of 4 children in a family. So I kind of grew up pretty like self-sufficient, and like I kind of like knew how to handle myself from a pretty young age because I would watch and learn from my older siblings messing things up. But I feel like the first time I really ever acted on my out of my own agency would it be like probably later in high school, when I just sort of had to start like making decisions for myself about, like, I don't know, what I was gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. What's life gonna look like?
Yeah.
I'm curious about your experience, because, like, all right, let me fangirl for a minute. You're like so talented.
Okay.
Like God is good all the time with this one, and I don't mean to trigger anyone by saying God, but Like your talent is like a gift from the gods. And I'm wondering, when did you know that you wanted to pursue your career as an artist? Because I know you were doing things at the PCLO, you were Get Brush, you were fabulous. Like, we live for it all. Music Man
Oh, you've
Concert,
done your
Eddie
research.
Vedder. Girl, when I'm a fan for truth. When was it that you were like, oh my God, I want to do this?
Well, I mean, like you said, I was performing my whole life. So, I mean, it started around like 5. But when I actually decided to like make it a life thing, like go to college for it, that was my junior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I just was like, this is what I just at least had to give it a shot, you know? And then we'd see where it lands, but at least give it a shot.
He did not throw away his shot. No, he did not, everyone. For the record. So I'm wondering, I want to get into some like more challenging thoughts of like, what's been the most difficult part for you, both as an artist and as a queer person?
Well, I know something that like my parents will express to me, and not to like, throw them under the bus, but something that I think is a valid thing that people of their generation would worry about is they kind of worry. They're like, oh, you're playing this gay character on the show. Like, are you only going to be seen for like those types of roles? And I'm like, well, if that is what the case is, then like that's what it is. And what makes those roles any less than another role? And I think, with that though, there are less roles for queer people. I think they're on the rise for sure. We obviously have a lot more work to do. But I think it's just, I think that's a challenge, is like trying to, figure out where you fit and how you can, like be an authentic artist, but also be an actor who can play any type of role,
Do you write as well?
I don't.
Okay, just curious, because I'm like, let's write these roles.
Well, yes, no.
Write
Absolutely.
these roles. Because who knows? Who knows what's going to be out there? And if anything, someone will write a role for you, baby. That is reality. I'm curious, like, so, but on that, like, how do you express yourself creatively outside of being an actor?
Well, I'm honestly kind of still trying to figure that out, I have to say. Because I've just been in school my whole life and I've been so busy with that. And then, once the pandemic happened, everything kind of stopped. And I'm like, okay, like, how am I going to express, how am I going to continue like filling my soul whenever I'm not working, right? So for me, that comes like with music. I love music. I've played piano since I was 7. And I definitely like will return to that always. I've gotten into reading. I really enjoy reading books. I mean, like I feel like I've been gaining a sense of my own style and like things that I want to wear. Which I think before was a little bit more plain and like simple. I didn't have much time to think about it. And also like my mom would buy me clothes. But now I'm like, okay, I can actually like develop a sense of style for myself. And I don't know, like we went to this party and the theme was Hollywood glamour. And I put together this fun outfit and I felt so cute. And I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is such a fun way to, say like, this is me and this is who I am and I can be fabulous. But also like, I don't know, I like to have fun with my clothes.
Yes. Well, this comes back to the whole idea of self-expression, right? That like being able to be to have a conversation by what I wear or what I paint, whether I paint my nails or there are a lot of people that don't, outside of the queer community, that don't necessarily accept that or understand it. I think it becomes our opportunity rather than our responsibility, our opportunity to be ourselves unapologetically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of your work does that. I mean, I haven't even said the words High School Musical series yet. But now is the time to just say, like, the way that you represent yourself. And for those of you who loved you on the show, give us a what. There's just this beautiful, like, oh, I'm getting a little choked up. Because I just, I like wish that when I was in high school that we had more Joe, like that kind of a thing. And I'm so excited by the way in which you have, you and your relationship on the show have made, self-expression so normal, so like, and the word normal is so antiquated, but yeah. Like, you've made it so cool.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering, can you I'm wondering how your life, I mean, your relationship, your life, and I'm not just talking about your romantic relationship, but your friends, your family, how your life experience has affected your portrayal of characters and roles.
Well, gosh. I will say, like, Seb's experience in high school is much different than mine was. I mean, not that much different. Like, I obviously was such a theater kid, and please. But I think something that happened in season 1, whenever Carlos first asks Seb to the homecoming dance, that was, there was like a moment of Seb where he said, oh, like, we're gonna like dance together, like even in front of the non-theater kids. And I think that is definitely something that I would have felt if a boy had asked me to a dance at that age. So yeah, I mean, just like those types of feelings of, like, acknowledging that it's, like you said, the normal is antiquated, but it's not, it's not the mainstream, like, everyone's doing this. Like, it is like a thing that might cause you to feel a little bit, like, uncertain of yourself and uncertain of how it will be accepted. So I think that was definitely a moment that I related to, for sure.
Beautifully, like, well, no, it's so true. It's like when you bring yourself to the role, or I'm an actor myself, so it's very interesting to think of, like, bringing myself to the role, bringing my experience, because, like, the only thing that I can be is me. I can put on physical behaviors and read words, but at the end of the day, I'm Z and you are Joe.
Yeah.
So I think that you just saying how you're bringing yourself to it is so beautifully put, and I think very inspirational for people who are young aspiring actors. Can I get a what in the chat if you are living for Joe's experience?
What?
I was just looking at the questions, and everyone's like, are you with Frankie? Tell me about you and Frankie. But we're not going to go that direction tonight. It's not that night. This is about creativity, joy, gay, queer, Joe.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, what would you say to the 13-year-old version of yourself today? Like, do you ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh yeah. So,
at the end of the finale, when they're like, say
if
something.
you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get
yes, that's amen. But they show the little picture of the little version of them. I'm wondering, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. Tell that.
Oh my God, I'm not prepared.
Oh my, don't cry. I mean, you can cry. Feel your feelings.
Can you imagine? I'm like sobbing. Mascara. Oh my gosh, 13. What was I? What grade was I even in? I think that was definitely a time that I was starting to figure out some things about how I was feeling about my identity. And there was like a select closed group of friends that like knew and I was able to talk about it with, and but it was not allowed to be like talked about otherwise. And I guess I would just say like it's okay. Take your time. And everything's gonna be fine. Oh my gosh, I'm crying. You know.
Mm-hmm. You are so welcome here. We love you at the Future Perfect Project. We really do. Z loves you. I know I'm talking in the third person, but it was, you know, your authenticity is really palpable. And I think for those of you who are watching, I think it's really important to recognize like it is wherever you are, there you are. You know, we can't control the waves, but we can learn to surf. And with whatever adversity we face, whether that's from society or self-inflicted, there is a way through, and that's with each other. So I got you, boom.
Thank you.
So now we're coming to the this is my least favorite part. It's my favorite part, but also my least favorite part because we have to go soon. But this is one of my favorite questions that we ask pretty much every guest that we have on the show is if you what does a perfect future look like to you?
Oh, a perfect future. Well, I guess one where people aren't rude to each other about their existence and denying their existence. That's just so, I don't understand that. And I guess just a world where we accept everyone and we support everyone and we cheer everyone on for who they are and what they're doing. Yeah. I think there's so much like people love to hate on things, and I just don't understand it. Like that everyone's doing their best. We really are. So like let them live, you know?
Yes, let our people
Perfect
go.
work.
Yes. It's so beautiful. That's my word for the night, beautiful, because you're just like in every way.
Oh my gosh. I like couldn't, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. And then I all of a sudden was crying.
Reality, and then reality sets in, you know.
That's right.
Yes, hydrate. You quiet it out now, put it back in. Love it. So I actually lied. I have one more question for you. If you could offer some suggestions to people who are watching, who are young, queer, and struggling, what would you say to them?
If I could give them any advice, kind of the same thing I said to myself of just like, it's okay. You know, take your time, figure it out. Don't feel like you have to be in a rush to like be set on any specific way. And have patience with both yourself and with the people around you who, you know, if you are in a situation where you don't feel safe to, you know, be who you are, you know, have patience. They're on their own journey. And you're going to grow and evolve, and it will get better. It definitely will get better.
Loud for the people in the back. I love that. Joe, oh my goodness. That is our time together today. I feel like this is just the beginning for us, Joe, but I'm just saying that out there. Putting it out there in the universe. I feel like we're going to meet again.
We will.
I think the world of you, and we at the Future Perfect Project are so grateful for you and your time, your authenticity, your self-expression, your generosity of spirit is undeniable. Before we go, I just want to let those of you who are watching know you can sign up for all of our programs, so you can hear a couple more of these conversations just by checking out our Instagram, following us on Instagram. All of our events and going-ons are available through our Instagram and our sign-up, which is available in our link tree. Please join us. We have amazing guests like Joe all the time. And we have a new program coming out next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time called FPP Hangouts. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a time for queer people to just get together, Kiki, talk about what's going on in their lives and in the world. And you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be good Kiki time. Oh, this is my last FPP Live.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you are my last interview. We have 2 more upcoming. So this is not the last FPP Live, but this is my last one personally that I'm interviewing. So it is such an honor. I was about to say the same thing to you.
Well, thank you so much. This is so lovely. Also, thank you to everyone in the comments sending their love. I really appreciate it, and I love you all.
Yes, it's coming right back at you all. The good vibes, the kindness that we were talking about putting out into the world, coming right back to you. Yes, we are saving the live. It will be available on our wall.
Oh my gosh, tears and all.
For posterity. We'll be in our 40s and people will be like, remember when you did that interview? And it'll be there. That's the world we live in now. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Just thank you. This is such a beautiful project that you all are making and doing, and I am so proud to be a part of it, and it's so wonderful, and the world is better because of it.
Yes, thank you so much, Joe. Everyone, have a great night. Joe, we'll be in touch. And again, we'll see you next week on FPP Live. Have a good one, y'all.
Thank you, Z. Wow.
Bye.
Bye.